You are live. Let me refresh this thing, and it's gonna take a little bit for YouTube to catch up. Let me see. Okay, there we go. Now, I know nobody's here. I don't expect anybody to be here. I know people are gonna catch this replay and watch it on their own. It's been, Richard. There we go. It's been a while. I just wanted to give an update and see what's kind of going on because I know it's been several months, like 2 months, since I posted anything on YouTube. Kevin, what's up? Rodolfo, there we go. I just wanted to, for the people catching the updates and the replays, kind of see what I've been up to and what everybody else has been up to. Just for a quick little Wednesday. I know a lot has changed, and I wanted to kind of cover that instead of just not posting anything. So I know it's been a bit. Jimmy, what's up? And I've been Dean, what's let's go Mavs. There we go. I've been consistent and going live on Whatnot pretty heavy, going hard in the paint for like this full year. Since the year started, I've been going live about 4 times a week, which is kind of funny though, because we talked about, me and Ken, um, late last year, what we thought was going to happen moving forward to 2024. And I was like, yeah, I don't know the live selling thing, how that's going to work. I think it's going to kind of like slow down big time, and complete opposite. What I found out was the people that were consistent on the platform were the ones that were really doing well still, because so much had changed since, like, 2.5 years ago, when they first started to try to build up the sneaker scene and shoe sellers and everything like that. So I figured, man, hats are doing well. I started selling more jerseys, things like that. I was like, I think that they're gonna do good, and if I can stay consistent, I think the shows will be fun. People get some steals, have profitable shows, and have a great community on there. And sure enough, it just kept going at it week after week. And so I've been pretty consistent, and I have no complaints here. I think it's been good for the business, and to be able to kind of turn over a lot of the fast stuff that moves a little bit slower on eBay, but that people really enjoy the deals on, and I'm able to get hundreds of pieces of it. So that's been helping out big time. Cool Kicks, what's up? Let me see. Oh, there we go, Kevin. Waiting an interview to come out. Very nice. And so that's what I've been doing for that part. Now, the eBay side, I've been to get adjusted on the Whatnot side. My eBay was super dead. And I didn't post anything. If you want any, updates, certain updates, Seller Club podcast with me and Ken and Anna, you can listen to that every week. And I've been covering that as well. I didn't post anything until I got everything situated on the Whatnot side, my schedule, when I'm going to be selling, how many pieces I'm going to sell, what that profit looks like, what that community looks like, how do we improve. And once I got that settled in, I was like, all right, let me tackle eBay and handle it in a certain way. Because at one point I was just really selling a lot of like lower end items too. A lot of like, Nike dry fit stuff that just wasn't really moving. And I just figured maybe the more the better. And that's not really the case when it comes to the eBay side. I think the better quality items you have, 100% you're going to do better. And I started to get better supply when it came to jerseys. And I talked about this on the Seller Club podcast. My goal is to get 1,000 jerseys listed up, and I'm nowhere there. The sell-through rate is insane. I've been selling Luka jerseys left and right, obviously being in the finals right now. I had a great like batch of city editions, and I was able to sell those quickly. I've been trying to replenish them, and so that side, the eBay side, has been doing well. I think the business side, period, has been doing well. But what has been hurting the most is the channel. Obviously, I mean, I haven't posted anything in 2 months. Haven't even been sourcing And a lot of factors came into play. Let me tell you about the sourcing side, or why, or what's going on channel wise, at least what I believe, Ross Burlington wise and all that. So number one, with how many pieces have been coming up supply wise, it just I started to really get behind. I mean, counting items, sorting items, storing items, and then figuring out which platform I'm going to sell them on. I lost total time to go to the stores and find stuff. The second part was, we already saw going into maybe earlier this year where Ross Burlington was kind of headed. Um, and even right now, I think maybe the last time I did go, a lot of just kind of t-shirts and Nike Dry Fit stuff, summer stuff. I think recently they did up, kind of get some more jerseys on there. I've been seeing the post still. I want to catch up with that and seeing what everybody's been posting or finding. And I've been seeing a lot of, like, $69.99, $79.99 on Air Max stuff and things like that, which again, which me and Ken talked about last time. The outlets are, I mean, those are outlet prices or even cheaper at the outlets with better sizes. So that makes it really tough on the Ross Burlington side. Armand, what's up? Jimmy, I miss those Wednesday live shows. 100%. Me too. Let me see. Kukix bulk buys direct from distributor liquidator is a different game than visiting tons of stores. Exactly, Kukix. And I mean, I love the deals that I get. Thrill of the hunt will always be there when it comes to visiting the stores. And then the third thing that came in, obviously, was being a dad. My daughter is now a year and a half. And for those that have kids, you already know in the chat, and I already knew too going into it, um, you guys would tell me, like, man, once you become a dad, your time is totally different. And I remember when me and Ken, it's like him and his wife, me and my wife, and then me and Ken would meet up at out hustled and go places. And I remember some people telling me, like, man, you got it easy right now. You're just married. Come on now. No kids, nothing. Building up a business or having time to source and list and everything, or even having time for the channel. The different ball game when you have kids. And I remember some people, like, I was like, you know what? It's probably true. Probably harder once you have kids. And then now that I have my own, I'm like, do I really want to go to stores, or do I rather spend time with my daughter when I have that time than to, have videos for YouTube? And it's like a difficult spot too, because you're like, man, building up the channel and going so far and having the years put into it. It's you don't want to just let it die. And now I'm at that point where anything talking about supply and liquidation wise, I can't. And even they even told me too, like, anything, we're not here open and selling to everybody. Anything that you talk about, whatever, that's on you. And if you want to cut that off, that relationship, I'm like, man, strict rules on this. I'm like, all right, cool, then I'm not going to talk about that. But I also know that that's not, like, relatable on that side either. It's like, if I can't talk about this whole thing that I'm doing, then what do I technically talk about and go through? And that's what I'm trying to figure out. I don't want the channel just to end up there and I'm not doing anything. But the main part of the channel, of course, was going to stores, and I haven't been going anywhere. Jimmy, I'm having a baby girl in August. There we go. Congrats. Excited, nervous at the same time. That's dope, Jimmy. Congrats to you. You're gonna love it. I love being a dad. Obviously, Father's Day's already coming up too, coming up quick. And I don't know. It's not. I guess going into it, a lot of people said this kind of the same thing time wise, and how it could be scary and this and that. But I love it. I would love to have another one. So me and my wife have been talking about that too. And I'm gonna be 39 coming up. So man, imagine hitting 40. That is wild. So that could come up soon too after that. So we'll see. But right now on selling wise, that's what I've been up to. Retrospective gear, what's up? Good to see you. There we go. There's wifey hacks in here, and so that's really been up to. Love the growth of the channel. Love the growth of your store. Loving the growth of your maturity. Thank you for that, Eric. Appreciate that. So I was kind of thinking about like, what would be next or what would be valuable for the channel if I were to continue that. And I've noticed and I've seen, I like to do research too, like what's going on in YouTube, what has been working. Reseller wise has definitely been different, I would say. And even the sneaker channels, I would say, has been different too, right? We have like SneakerCon coming to El Paso this weekend, which is kind of random. And the sneaker wise, man, there's like, unless it's really, really exclusive, there's not really a big hype on a lot of things. We also talked about Nike.com selling things for dirt cheap as well. And so that also comes into play as far as like the hype and for what people want. And me and Ken talked about that too with On Cloud and Hoka's and New Balance. So many different brands and different ways the fashion trends go, that like Jordans and Nikes and Dunks and things that change, and the changes that go along with it, right? So Jake ain't back either, says Rodolfo. Koo kicks his sneaker content down like crazy. What I like though, of course, Koo kicks and like finding the deals, finding things for the personal. Going out there is always fun. Thrill of the hunt is always fun. Demand misinformation in hand. What's up? There he is. And so on the reseller side, it's been consistent business wise. Like I can't complain. It's just the channel wise, what do I want to do and where do I want to spend my time when it comes to family and or sourcing or creating content and everything like that. So that's where I'm at, and that's kind of like my update. And that's really what I wanted to do. And talking about even the podcast, which is with me and Ken and Anna, Seller Club podcast. eBay's been very supportive. They've been sponsoring us. We gave away MacBook and all this crazy stuff. So eBay wise on the content podcast has been great, and they've been very supportive on that. Let me see. Treasure hunt is fun if you have the time, but the time is tough part, says Koo Kicks. Especially with going to, I guess it also depends on your city, and we know driving around, and if you find a couple of things here and there, it's like, all right, cool. And I love the videos where, we would go and we'd find a ton of stuff or a cart full. I can kind of review it and things like that. And from following the channel for so long, you guys have already known, and even going out to like Ross Burlington right now, I've seen Rashard picking up some great stuff. And I know you guys are passing up on a lot of stuff. It just does not make sense in the current market, where we're at and what you would try to make money on, and where you're selling on, right, on the platform. So that also comes into play. And I think after probably 2020, once we had everything kind of going on and when stores closed, right, a lot of stuff changed. Remember when Ross was just packed with Pumas and a lot of stuff that were RBX. You're like, we're not gonna pick up any of this. This is not gonna sell. That was when we couldn't find a swoosh at all in the store. And that's also when I knew I have to really find new ways to source and not just solely rely on the Ross, Burlington, and even thrifting. I was doing a lot more thrifting than to Uptown Cheapskate, and going to Plato's Closet and doing that. And even with Jake's videos, some of the Uptown Cheapskate stuff was like $120 for Jay's, and they're beat, and they caught on too, to where like they're like, well, let's charge up for this, whether it's good or not. It has a Jumpman on it. We're gonna charge $90, $100. And because I was trendy, I mean, you brought any Jordan in, there were Team Jordan, they could be a lower end Jordan. It didn't matter because it was trending during that time. And now I bet you they'd give you a ton of money taking in On Clouds and Hokas and stuff like that, because that's changed. Let me see. What do you mean the $80 Vapor Max aren't a good deal? Rodolfo, crazy on Vapor Max, huh? Vapor Max were so high. We've seen the trend that Roshis that were high at one point, and then we've seen Dunks, and Dunks are just sitting there now. It's so wild. Joshua, what's up? Hefe Jr. and whatnot. Very cool. There we go. Cool kicks. I've never seen steals at Uptown. No Plato's Closet near me. So there we go on that. I did talk to Jake though. I know you guys were saying about Jake. I think he texted me maybe about a month ago. I know we were talking about that, and he was asking me too about the reselling stuff on some of the profit margins and things like that. I think he was trying to switch up on and trying to sell some more items or what those margins look like. But other than that, I gotta catch up with him again. Ross even changed it Ultra Boost to 50, says Q Kicks. Richard, yeah, just got back from looking for stuff. Haven't been going like that anymore. Had to pivot to something else. Times have changed. So there we go, Richard. So I guess where I come from, I've always wanted to, provide value though. I feel like the channel had always done that. And kind of experiencing like my journey and me and Ken finding stuff and selling stuff and building that from there. And going back to, I guess, the sneaker content or the reselling content, a lot of the older channels that were around the same time that I started and they've built up to like 100K subs and things like that, their views aren't great. Their views have totally switched, and I think YouTube really likes just new channels. Period. Something new, something fresh. And if you notice too, a lot of people on their subscribers don't really have to. You don't really have to subscribe to anybody anymore. Um, Everything comes out on your homepage. So whether you watch a couple of videos, that's it. They'll keep recommending those videos to you. So subs or sub count aren't really a big deal. Maybe as they were in like 2017 or 2018 or things like that. Um, Kukix probably knows more about that. I mean, having a channel and how that kind of makes a little bit more sense. Joshua says my Ross and Burlingtons are always dry. Nothing I see on videos that people post. There we go, Josh. Yeah, right now, at least what I've seen, I mean, it's a totally different ball game than if you would have seen posts from 2017, 2018, and what those items were selling for is like a totally different ball game than where we're at right now. And I know a lot of the cleats probably are still, the 24.99, 19.99. I don't think much has changed there. But are they sized, 14, 15, 16, or 5, 6, 7? Are we finding, great sizes? It just depends. Sub count is important if you have sponsors, but not for views. Not important. Most channels have like 60, 70% views come from non-subs. I did notice that too. Coup Kicks 100%. You can go through the data, and I'm like, man, I think it might have been even higher. I'm like 80 something percent like non-subs, and I'm like, like why is that? And is it just lurkers? Is it just people that want to know what's going on? But in reality, I think it's just the recommendations, the homepage and things like that. They'll just come out, and you're like, well, I really don't have to technically sub. I can just watch whenever. Armand, do you think items are still in abundance? Do you notice it dwindling or getting difficult, or is that just more competition? Great questions. I think three great questions, three in a row. So I don't think items are hard to find. I think there's probably more items than ever, but not from the Ross Burlington perspective. But I think outlets and even if you're going to like the sneaker boutiques, people will definitely give you a great deal if you're buying in bulk from them. Um, even going to, even going to like Shoe Palace at the mall, there's so many different shoes that are sitting there. So we know shoes are there, or items are there, or items are being clearanced. It's a matter of finding the right items that are going to sell and that you're going to be profitable on, and is it worth your time? Because the time's going to be most important more than ever right now. So is it dwindling or getting difficult? I think it's definitely getting difficult, and I think that the people that are still in the same motion as far as like maybe the old school retail arb and also the old school thrifting, if they're not finding the right items, they're stuck with items. And I've never been, this what's kind of sucks though, is like my channel's never been relatable with the thrifting type of community or the thrifting side. because of the retail arb side. I've always shown a lot of the Ross Burlington stuff. And even with the eBay side, it's kind of like, kind of there, not really there. Um, but as much as like the thrifting is really fun, I don't see it like that profitable or worth my time for me, I guess, because I don't have the time to clean shoes. There's people that do and they do well. And I also only have like a couple of thrift stores. I don't have as many. Like, we have one bin store. It's really tiny. Goodwill bins. Everything else, we have two savers. I mean, when we would go to like Dallas, we'd go to Cali, we would go to Houston. There's so many different stores. And so the thrift side isn't really, and even going to Austin to visit my brother, huge Goodwill, like ton of bins, those bin stores. And the bin stores are crowded, crazy right now. Everyone loves the bins. Um, and it's just not something that I'm doing right now, and I'm getting brand new items, which is good, but it's not relatable in that sense, thrifting and going back and forth with that. Now, competition wise, that depends on what you're selling on. I found it really different. I mean, when something's trendy and there's no competition, let's say for like me selling Luca Swingman jerseys, like no one's gonna compete with me on that, and they're selling like hotcakes because who else is gonna have a bulk on jerseys that are real and selling them? I was even above retail. They're retail at 120. I've been selling them at 150. I have them listed at 150, but they're going quick. And then it's kind of funny though. I read comments on some of the channels when it comes to like eBay selling, and people are like, "Can you send me a list of brands that sell well, that sell for a high amount, great margins, and they sell fast?" And it's like, that's the work you got to put in as a business owner. Like, no one's just giving you whatever to make as much money as you want. Oh, here's everything you got to look for and you got to do, and you just go and find it, and you list it. It's just gonna sell right away, and that's it. Like, it doesn't work like that. Um, and so the Luca one is an example. But what about, golf shoes that I've had for over a year now that slowly sell? The margins are there, but they're not moving like, 20 items a day, 30 units a day on eBay. That just doesn't happen on those. Even though they're Nike, even though they're brand new, is there the competition? Are they looking for that? Are there better, newer models than mine? Because I have a lot of older ones that probably aren't really that hot right now, and people rather buy, a Jordan Golf, and they're selling it cheaper than I'm selling an older Golf, or maybe the size, maybe the bottom is a certain cleat that they're looking for. A lot of these factors come into play, and people want to like sell things right away. I list it, it's got to sell. It doesn't work like that. Let me go. Josh, eBay account is G Customs 41. It's just my old. That's my old eBay name. I've still been going on with that account. And right now I've been listing more jerseys than anything. I still have the golfs, and I've been selling a lot of the. I just started selling some of the golfs on Thursdays on whatnot, and just trying to get some of that out. And I would really just love like a full jersey eBay store, really. I don't really have too many shoes left, and I really tried to sell as much as I could before I could see that market kind of change. Let me see. Dang, fools want you to do all the work for them. I can easily do the research and see what's moving on eBay. Exactly, Kukix. And I've seen the videos too. Oh, 100 bolos, 50 bolos, 200 bolos. Like, bolos aren't really gonna, I mean, they're gonna help you to an extent, but until you're out there looking or trying to find these brands, these items, you may not ever find some of these brands when you go in your area. Like, every city's different. Everything is different when you're out there in the wild, right? And so what I tell people too, though, Because I talking to people too, they're like, man, well that must be nice. Now you have items coming to you. I worked very, very difficult to try to find and work with these suppliers that, as you guys can clearly see, like I've been sourcing Ross Burlington for how many years now? And there's some people that have went straight to supplier a lot quicker than I did, or have moved on to different items a lot quicker than I did. And I stuck just true to the Ross Burlington stuff, as long as I possibly could, and to where I found that that it was still profitable for me and it made sense for me. In the meantime, I was like, man, I got to keep trying to find this, trying to get in, and so many people telling me no, just hearing no. All right, cool. Move on to the next. Is it possible for me to get this? Can I talk to this person to try to get that? No, no, no. All right, let me move on to the next. Who else can I talk to? Who else is selling this? And that was a lot of work too, and it's not easy. Thank you, Rodolfo. Appreciate that. I see the little hundreds on there. I see the little hearts on there. Cool Kicks, you talked about them. Luca jerseys, saw bunches of them 70% off 2 weeks ago, and people on YouTube showing where they are. Cool Kicks. Yeah, I think somebody was telling me on Whatnot, they're like, man, so many Luca jerseys were down to like $29 at the outlets, and nobody picked them up. Nobody cared. And of course, being into the finals, winning in the playoffs changes everything. I've had buyers that are like, can you ship this to me next day? Because the finals are starting. Like all these, like, I was going to say bootleg, all these bandwagoners are crazy jumping on for Mavericks, and they'll pay whatever. And that's when you know the inflation part doesn't matter. I know we were talking, man, inflation, this and that. When there's a bandwagoner ready to jump on, doesn't matter. They'll pay 150 for a jersey. They'll pay 200 for a jersey, as long as they're willing to show Mavericks on their chest, and they're ready for the finals. And they'd never watched any of their games, 82 game season. Ray, what's up, my boy? There he is, bro. Good to see you. Definitely gotta catch up with you 100%. Cool Kicks, they pay more to try to look less like a bandwagon fans. Exactly. So that is wild, right? It's like, and but we saw that too with inflation part, with anything that's trending, they'll pay for it 100%. Who do I gotta cash up to get these new Ross drop release deals? Sonny, my boy, what's up? Sonny, how have you been YouTube wise, Whatnot wise, reselling wise? How's that been going for you? Where Hustle be at, Mondo? We're gonna record the podcast right now, me and Ken, with Anna, in about 30 minutes. We usually do it late on Wednesdays. Sometimes we'll mix it up on a different day. But today I just wanted to go live. I didn't even tell Ken I was going live or nothing. I just wanted to kind of catch up and see where everybody's at and what's kind of going on, and where I've been and what I've been up to. Just because I will, on my channel, it's like last video 2 months, and like, what happened to this guy? Where is he? Is he alive? What is he doing? Let me see. Cool Kicks, bandwagon fans. I've had these since game one this season, right? Exactly. Josh, Glenn, what's percentage is eBay's charge compared to the 13% on Whatnot? The charges are pretty similar unless you start to promote high, like on eBay. So on a lot of, I'll go like, the highest I go now is like 4% on promoted listings. The usual, I've seen people do 2-3%. If I go 4%, that's probably the highest. I'm not really trying to get like up to, like, their recommended has gone up tremendously. They recommended you to do 3%, 4%, 5%. Then I would see it jump to 8, 10, 12, 13. I'm not doing 13% promoted listings and paying the 13, or so percent on fees. Your fees will go out of control. You'd be at 25, 26%. The only way it would make sense for you to do something like that, unless it was items that no one can find, and you're really, really trying to get on the first page, because on eBay it is a different game. Like, if you're not on the first page, no one's really gonna find you. That's just the truth on it. Like, you can scroll and scroll and scroll, and when you're just lost in there, it's not gonna happen. So let me go back. Sunny, good. Started daily vlog, working on cleaning up my death piles. That's always good. After 80 days, I'm back to thrifting and organized. Organized is very, very important right now. Back to thrifting videos too, says Sunny. So there we go. Nice update. Appreciate that on that. And man, you can never be too organized. That's one of my issues. All right, which one's on eBay? What's gonna go on Whatnot? How do I get everything prepared? The feedback on Whatnot has been great. They've really enjoyed. I try to not waste anybody's time. I still start everything at $1 on the auctions, but I try to just keep it moving and keep it organized to where I have like the items are set and I can just keep it going. And even the people that I've been buying from and watching, they're kind of the same thing. They're not there yelling at people, run this up, guys, swipe up, keep it going. Or, it's kind of like, hey, like a comfortable environment. The community's cool on that. And I'm just trying to keep that going and keep it consistent. I remember when I started off beginning of the year, because then again, late 2023, I wasn't consistent on Whatnot. I was more consistent on eBay. And I noticed that more of my items would probably do better on Whatnot. So that's when I started to do Whatnot again in January. And I would have maybe 50 people, then it was 70 people. Yesterday, 200 something people. I was happy about that. And I've been trying to really build that up more and more and more. Mavericks jersey, fine on Ross. There we go, Paul. Joshua, or you see streamers get mad, 100%. Sunny, max I do is 3% promoted listings on eBay. Keep focusing on quality, good, high sell-through rate items. There we go, which we just talked about that right now. It's not about is it getting saturated or things getting tougher. It's about the quality items that, yeah, you're going to charge more on it, but they are going to be way less competition. And in result, probably harder for you to obtain though as well. But if you are able to get more of those type of items, then you definitely got to keep going and keep going all in on those and try to build up as much as you can. Found a bunch of authentic All-Star 2022 Luka jerseys for $50. There we go. Yeah, Luka stuff right now, Celtic stuff right now. It's just, and we see that all the time. Even with NFL, teams start winning, people start jumping on. And then you can start, making the good money on those items. Hats, jerseys, hoodies, t-shirts, all of that. So it's wild to see some of the trending stuff and what's going on. So that's what I'm on. That's what I'm doing right now. I know we're 34 minutes in. I didn't have any things I wanted to cover. I just wanted to jump on and talk and where I've been, what I've been up to, and what's been working. And what I should do next, because that's the business wise has been great, and I don't know if the YouTube side, well, obviously it would take time from that, and that's also one of the things that I think it's funny though, which it is true, right? With the YouTubers that make the most money, that are resellers, they're making it from the YouTube side. And at one point it was the opposite for me. It's like I loved selling, but my numbers are nowhere near the YouTube money that was coming in as well. And you're like, where do I put more of my time then? If this is doing well, this could do well, but I'm limiting my potential because I'm doing this, and this. And that's where 2024, I've made it a point of business has to grow. And that's where I feel like the long-term success is going to be. And my time-wise needs to go to, of course, daughter and family. And it's pretty cool because right now I get to go to the gym 5 times a week. I get to feed my daughter lunch. I get to eat with my wife lunch. I don't have to stress to get to Ross at 8 a.m. or do any of that. I can spend time and I really don't work until it gets closer to the afternoon, and I get to list on Whatnot. I get everything prepared for the show for Whatnot, and then I ship, and then move on to the next day. And then I try to get, if I can get listings done in the morning, I'd rather get listings done in the morning before I go post office and stuff like that. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. And the weekends I try to catch up on at least the eBay side of things, and getting more listings up. So let me see. Sunny, nice update there. Fastest shipper on Whatnot, Joshua. There we go. Yeah, I still try to get my items out. Less than 1 day shipping and or handling time, I guess I would say. So we got 30 people in here. But anything else you guys want to throw in? If you guys have any questions or anything else, I know Armand had great questions. Hopefully I answered them right. As far as like where I think things are right now. But anything else you want to ask or throw in there, I'll definitely answer them. But that was pretty much my good 30-minute update on where I've been and what I've been up to. So even on Whatnot, if you don't buy anything, I just like the people that jump in, hang out. They win giveaways. That's dope too. The support on there has been pretty cool. The YouTube support has always been great. You guys have always been supporting on the content wise. Whatever I do, I know you guys will definitely want to see any new video. There's been people that have been like, I don't care what you post, just anything that's content wise, I'd watch, and I'm like extremely thankful for that, support when it comes to the channel wise. Appreciate that, Rodolfo. You as well. Thank you for that. Mikkel, Mavs coming back from 0-2. I think they're gonna win tonight. I don't see them losing a game 3. But as far as series wise, I don't know. I think Celtics, are gonna take it. I don't want them to take it. Trust me, I don't. But Mondo, hoping the fines at Ross Burlington get better in the end of the July and early August. Tax free coming up for 2 weeks, end of July for back to school. Sales are stale right now since summer has started and people going on summer vacation. And yeah, usually we have that summer slowdown and things like that from June, July, August, and then back to school stuff is usually the pretty much from August all the way till December. It's like sales always good. Mo's Closet, thank you. Good to hear from you. Almost tied at the half. Dallas best half so far. Coup kicks. Armand answered all my questions. Great, thank you. Your wealth of information top tier. Appreciate that, Armand. 100%. Tell Ken the BS said, let's go, Sonny. As Lakers fans, we're all rooting for the Mavs. Yes, sir. And rest in peace to Jerry West, too, which is Bill Walton, too. And then it was like Jerry West. Man, it's like the older players that so many highlights. Me and my brother used to watch Jerry West, the logo and everything. Let me go back up and see. So back to Mondo, and when it comes to the sales and stuff like that. And that's where I noticed the difference, though, from the eBay and Whatnot side. Was Whatnot wasn't really hasn't been all about like the sales side and making money side, that people are there watching like, man, I gotta buy this, gotta buy that. It was more for also I believe to be in like an entertainment wise just almost like the channel. It's like we look forward to a new video coming out, and on Whatnot it's like I look forward to watching you stream, and it becomes part of your daily schedule and daily life, whether you buy anything or not. It's just kind of like that schedule, almost like a not like a TV show, but you're consistently there for someone to, you can watch and connect and be on there. And that's the way the channel has always been, and that's what these Wednesday shows were as well. And even the Wednesday shows, me and Ken, big time fun on there doing the Wednesday shows. And even after time too, I was like, man, this is, I really want to eat dinner with my wife and not doing a live, and I was like, but I want to keep them consistent. And you go back and forth because you want to do both, and you can't. I guess you can until you can't. See, Iron Mamba sales have picked up for me. I think I finally wore down all the watchers and they're finally buying. There we go. You gotta keep sending out those offers. Someone's gotta give, someone's gotta buy on there. You keep going. But I think the one of the we always get that question too, right? Is like, is eBay dying? eBay's not dying. Amazon's surely not dying. I know Amazon sellers, whatnot, which I totally thought it was gonna slowly kind of go down, has been great. They haven't been slowing down. Mercari changed theirs to no fees, and I've been selling more higher end on Mercari because I think people are willing to send out offers and try to get higher end stuff. Honestly, I've been buying on Mercari too. I've been sending out higher end offers for stuff that I know is great, and people they've been taking it because there's no fees. And I think what's been hurting the most Mercari side are for the people that are selling like less than $10 stuff, because the people that are buying that, they're adding on so many fees as a buyer that they're not seeing that, and they're like, now my $10 purchase went to 18, $19, not really seeing that. And so that kind of changed, and then the payouts are totally different if they're paying out fees to withdraw their money. If you're selling lower end stuff, there it doesn't really make sense. But higher end stuff, maybe that's what Mercari wanted all along, was for people to sell $100 plus items. I don't know. That might have been their goal. eBay Immortal, says Sunny. Armand, I've never purchased from Whatnot. It would be cool to see you stream some of that on your YouTube channel for us who are clueless about it. That's a good idea too. I know you can cross stream on there and kind of see what or how that looks like, and see what I guess how I would approach it and things like that. And even the Whatnot side, I would love to do Whatnot type of content, but it's another um kind of non-relatable thing. I think if anything that was really really relatable would be more for the eBay selling side, and how to approach that maybe to improve, but we cover a lot of that on the podcast. So it would have to be something totally different on the channel. Mondo says eBay isn't. I'll get random sales during the week, and Mercari brought their old return policy back, which I did see that. Posted all my items back and offering free shipping now. So there we go. Uh, Mercari, I think it's a different beast. Poshmark obviously is a different beast. I obviously didn't like Poshmark that much. I did try it and I did cross list. It wasn't for me. I don't know. I just wasn't feeling the, or maybe even my items weren't for that platform. Most of my items are sports related, fitted hats, snapbacks, jerseys, team related stuff. And I was like, nah, it's not really moving that great on here. Let me see. Oh, the logo, RIP the logo, 100% on the Jerry West. So here we go. On eBay, we talked about that. We talked about those updates. So there we go. That's where I'm at. Channel wise, it comes down to time and what I would really want to do. That's different. If I would want to create some other content, could me and Ken do some live shows or do more there? We could always do more or do better stuff there, but um that's my update. That's where I'm at. And it's always good to talk to everybody, and whether it's in person, whether it's one whatnot, whether it's on emails, DMs, or on here on YouTube. I always appreciate and always have appreciated everybody that has watched one to all videos, or left comments or anything. Mondo, Poshmark isn't good when it comes to hats, jerseys, or shirts because their shipping is $7.97 for everything. However, shoes go well on Poshmark. That is 100% true. That's a great comment. And I've noticed that too. If you go to the Whatnot side, you can do combined shipping, and combined shipping doesn't do well on when I sell hats or anything kind of t-shirt, jersey related, because if someone's trying to buy a hat, they're not going to want to pay $8.35 for shipping, even though it's going to be combined, because there's no guarantee they're going to get another item later on during the show, because it's sudden death and anything could happen. And if they constantly keep losing out on bids, you're not going to buy one item for $8.35. But shoes, $8.35 combined shipping, and you're buying multiple pairs, you could spend more to get those shoes later on, and it makes more sense because now you get to get the combined shipping. So that also makes sense, I think, from the Poshmark comment right there from Mondo. I think I could see it on both sides. The shipping does weigh a lot on that end. All right, I got like 15 minutes, 14 minutes now. Me and Ken are going to record that podcast. We'll get ready for that. And that was my update for the Wednesday. Hopefully the people that do watch the replay, though, leave me a comment in here. Any questions, any concerns, anything you want to see, maybe questions that you have, period, whatnot, eBay side, sourcing wise, Ross side, anything. I'm open to talking about that, and we can go from there. And we are done. There we go, Mondo. All right, guys, I appreciate it. Anybody that jumped in, and for the people that catch the replay, and we'll definitely catch up again soon. And I will see you guys that follow me on whatnot on, well, tomorrow for Thursday's show. And that is it. So appreciate it, guys. And we'll see you on the next one. And go out and get it. See ya.